What's up, YouTube? I am Z-Town Train. This is just a basic dude vlog. And this is the 100 subscriber special series number 2. Let's go. Okay, so for the 100 subscriber series, we are going through the bag of tricks. We have talked about how it is based on a Trapper's Possibles bag, and we are looking at everything in the bag and taking a look and kind of talking little reasons why I keep things in there. Everything's kind of multi-purpose. So if I have something that I've chosen to put in the minimal space that I have in this bag, then there's like many things that I can do with it, or it's just a really useful tool. So let's take a look at the next pocket. And I think we're going to go starting with this front pocket right here. So we're going to open them up and we're going to take a look. Let's set them right here for right now. That'll work. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I don't like that. Okay. We'll set them down here. So in the next pocket, we have a small whetstone. A lot of the tools that I have need to be sharpened. Whetstones are great. It's just really multi-purpose for all general sharpening. So I keep a whetstone in there. They're cheap. You can get one. They're less than $5. I think that one is it's either a Coughlin's one or it might just be a generic one that I got. I have one that's a Coughlin's. It's got a little stamp in it. The next thing is a pair of cable snips. Now, this is kind of a niche product. Now you look at them and you say, oh, those are just scissors. You can strip wire with them, and they are literally the toughest little thick pair of small, convenient steel scissors that you can get. I have a couple of pairs of cable snips, and I work in networking, so cable snips were kind of a thing that I rode around on my hip for a long time. I'm really used to having a pair. They're great to work with, so if you get a small pair of cable snips, they are just double tough. And I've got a couple of pairs in the house. I even have a pair that are cleaner and nicer that my wife uses sometimes. And she keeps a pair around too because they're just so absolutely handy. We have, oh, okay. This was the fishing kit that came out of one of those waterproof kits that UST made a couple years ago. And I thought that the little handle and the couple of things in here were just so darn handy in such a small package. And you could, you know, catch fish to eat if you had to. And it's just kind of a neat little add-on that I put into the bigger front pocket. This is a fire striker. There's probably a couple of different kinds of fire strikers in this bag. This one is just a small... you can't use it very many times. So it's got a small piece of flint here. A lot of people tried to say that this on the back was magnesium. I could never get this particular stick to light very well. I do have a magnesium fire starter brick, but I could never really get this one to work. This came with the para hatchet, and I'm just not a big fan of this, but it's so small and light, and I haven't used up the flint yet, so I decided that it could go into the bag. It doesn't take up much space. It's really light. Oh, okay. More zip ties. There's a couple more zip ties in that pocket. And like we've talked about before, I think zip ties are really handy to have around. They're tough. They're good for tying things to trees or making shelter. I think zip ties are really handy. They're not all of the cordage that I have, but I think that they're handy enough that I keep a few around. We have more paracord. Paracord kind of speaks for itself in the survival or outdoor or even the bushcraft, or lots of different people use lots of paracord. And so I keep, this is a much longer piece than what we looked at the other day. The other pieces were kind of scraps that I just wanted to throw somewhere where I could use them. We have, let's see. Oh, cool story. So this is a fire starter rope. And my friend Jeremy Pointer made this one for me. And it is fire starter on a little rope. You could pull this down, and it makes it easy to carry an ember. It's just really a handy thing, and he makes them. He also made this fire striker necklace. I felt like I needed a little bit of extra luck coming into the last hurricane, and believe it or not, I thought, you know what, this was hanging on the back of one of my doorknobs, and I was like, I could use a little Jeremy Pointer energy today. I could use a little Jeff Otto energy today too. My guys out there, you guys these are friends of mine from back in the day. I just needed a little bit of their energy, so I put that necklace on. I haven't taken it off since the hurricane, to be honest. What else do we got? So, moving on. That was the big front bag. You'd think there would be a lot more stuff in there, but I also like to keep space to put stuff. We're going to move on to this top front pocket right here. And let's talk about that. Okay. What do we have in the top front pocket? Believe it or not, Bic lighter. Okay, Bic lighters are convenient, small, light, and a Bic lighter is double tough. Those cheap lighters that you get, they'll go to pieces on you. But a Bic is tough. They're a tough, good name brand. And man, if you can light your fire with just a Bic lighter and not have to worry about fire starter and all these other things, if you could just get some shavings or some paper and light your fire, the sheer volume of energy you will save just lighting a fire with a lighter instead of going through all of the other things. So if you want to light a fun fire, or you're looking to try to practice things and stuff like that, all of the other ways to make fire are great. Flint and steel, bow drill, all of these other methods are good methods to know. But if you could just light it with your Bic, why go through all that great fight when you have the same fire? So I keep a Bic in here. That's in case if it's not wet, if it's not inconvenient, if I have paper, I can just use my lighter. It just seems really simple. We have a bunch of Coughlin waterproof matches. Now we're moving up levels, right? So we have the Bic lighter, and he's awesome to light paper and stuff with, or get a good fire going. These matches are waterproof. So that's a little bit different story. So now it's raining and you can still get a fire going when your flint and your Bic gets wet or something like that. Or maybe your Bic finally gives out. That can happen. I also keep in here extra mantles for my Coleman lantern. They're small, they're light. It doesn't hurt to have them with you. What if you find a cabin that has a lantern in it? Or what if you just need a new mantle for your lantern? So one of the packages of mantles for my lantern, and one day we're going to do a lantern video. I think that's a great idea. We'll do a Coleman lantern video. I love that thing. It was my grandpa's. I think it gives off a really cool light. I keep the mantles in my bag just because they're light and there's space for them. It doesn't hurt to have them. We've gone over these. These are our Binolux binoculars that we got on that same trip up in Idaho. Super handy, absolutely worth the space. These ones fold up great. They go into this nice little package that kind of protects them. They're rubberized, super handy. Of course, we're going to have binoculars so we can see further away down in the back. We have, this kind of speaks for itself. This is another flashlight. It's a really bright flashlight that runs on a single AA battery, and he is just handy. This one is made by Cree, I believe. So it's just a really handy little flashlight. He does have that kind of weird tactical look to him, but that's not why I have him. It's just really tough and works really well, and it's in a really small package. It also has the flashing. It's good for signaling or flashing in someone's face, I suppose, or something if they're attacking you. I don't know why you would do that. Okay, let's keep going. That's another package of mantles. I didn't know I had 2 packages of those in there. Here we go. So this is, there's a Coughlin stamp right there. This is a magnesium brick and a flint fire striker. So we've done a video on this in the past. In fact, I think we did 2. You scrape magnesium shavings off the back and strike your fire into them, and they burn really hot for a short period of time, but very hot. So it makes it easier for you to get a fire started when things are wet or when conditions aren't perfect. The magnesium part really helps. So you make a bed of like, bark and leaves and stuff like that that's going to catch fire. And then you have to get like a nice little pile going of the shavings. If you check out my other videos where we talk about that, I do eventually make fire with one. Eventually. But I think that they're really handy, and it's absolutely worth having in the pack. Crazy how like fire is sort of a theme. Because if you're stuck somewhere, I found once there was a time where having a fire was really helpful to me and a bunch of my friends when we got stuck in the mountains. And one of us, a good buddy of mine, my best friend, one of my best friends, my brother, had to march out, had to walk out of the woods where we were stuck when the truck broke. And he walked out of the woods and we got a fire going. Man, if we didn't have a fire, that day would have really sucked. So fire is super important. There's a lot of different ways to make fire in here. Let's see. That pocket. Oh, okay. This is a can opener. It's like a P38 can opener. We've talked about them in the past in a couple of different videos. And if you've seen a P38 can opener, you know what they look like. This is a bigger one, so it's kind of more like a John Wayne can opener, is what they called it back in the day. And I keep this little bit of tape and paper around them because it doesn't lock. There's a blade on it that folds out that you open cans with. Maybe we should do I think I did a whole video on it, making lunch once back in the day. And so I keep one of those in here. These are some gun safe keys for my gun safe, and those just landed on that key ring, and I didn't want to carry a whole bunch of keys around on my ring. And so those wound up in there. All right. So, this was, I don't think that there's enough inside of the bag to make, what we're going to do is make this a 3-part series, I guess, because the last pocket we have is literally the big main pocket. And I have a first aid kit in there that I'd really like to go over because I've made a bunch of additions to the first aid kit. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to make the 100 subscriber bag of tricks, possibles bag, the 100 subscriber special. We're going to take him and we are going to make him a 3-part series. And on the next part of the series, we're going to go over the main part of our bag. So the main part of the bag of tricks is all going to come out on the next video. So if you have any questions about any of this stuff, or how it works, or something you'd like for me to make a video on that you've seen in the Bag of Tricks videos, throw it in the comments. I'm super open to suggestions about videos, and I'd love to talk to you about things that you'd like to see or things that you want to see happen on the channel. If there's any item that you have more questions about, I'm going through this and I'm finding ideas for videos I want to do in the future. We're definitely doing a Coleman Lantern video. That's a done deal. So we're going to do that down the road. So, just hit me up, tell me what you want to see. This is the end of video number 2 in a 3-part series of our 100 subscriber special, The Bag of Tricks. Now, I am Z-Town Train, and this is just a basic dude vlog. And I'm out of here. I'll see you guys. You guys have a great day, have an awesome day, and I will see you later. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.